moi, Window Youth, regarde-moi.
Hello. Today we are here in another part of the series Journeys of Care. Today we have with us the social worker of Elos, Eleftheria. She has a lot of experience working with people from vulnerable social groups. Eleftheria, can you tell us a bit what you are doing in Velos?
I am a social worker in the community center, and I am supporting the young people with the accommodation, with medical assessment, generally supporting them with their needs.
Great, thank you. Now, can you tell us a bit how did you got inspired to start working with young refugees?
What inspired me? My inspiration came when I was on 2015, no, before 2011, I worked in the streets as a social worker and make my first social report, let's say, in the streets at Patra, where many minors at that time, were living in the court. And they were waiting to get in the boat, and they want to move in Europe through Italy. So I worked there many days in the nights and support the young people, and most of them were minors. Without their parents from the age it was 15 to 25 years old, and when I talked to them in the streets, inspired me that I can change the world a bit, not everything, but I see that there is a hope, there is a future in their eyes. And yeah.
So changing the world was one of the, in a small way.
Yeah, in a very small way. And when you see young people because I spoke with them, imagine you are in the night in a huge court behind the trees. There's no lights, okay, and only a small fire, and start to communicate with them about their needs, about what they're doing, and start to play football with them, play ball with the ball, I mean, and I was after 5 days be a part of their daily life. When I see in their eyes, the hope that someone came to help us, and not only from our community, it was, inspiration.
Great, thank you, Eleftheria. Now, from your experience all these years, what is the biggest challenge that you face in your job with young people, with young refugees?
Certainly is the accommodation. It's a huge issue, the accommodation crisis, even for the Greek citizens, but especially for the young people. This transition to be a minor and stay in a shelter and suddenly become 18 and they kick you out, the staff kick you out because this is the rule in a shelter. And you don't have, as a minor, the knowledge to move, to support yourself independently. For me, this is horrible. It's a very bad practice for the young people.
So
for the social integration, for our community, for our job.
And now, if I'll ask you about a moment or an experience that have stayed with you during all these years from your job, what would you say?
Yeah. Yes, all this year. I'm thinking my first my first case as a social worker on 2011. I worked in practice in a polyclinic, and suddenly a minor came to ask for housing, for accommodation. At that time, there not exist shelters, there not exist minors. Okay, it was so, this happened so suddenly. And all the team, we were medical, social, and the coordinator of the clinic. We support him like, like be a child. You find a very small pet and it's hurting outside in the street and you need to go to the clinic. It was like that. I did it all the communications with the ministry and blah 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 at that time because it was so difficult to find the place for a minor, and I escorted him to the shelter here at Exarchia. It was my first case, and you know what happened in the end? He left from the shelter at the same day. I was outside in the street and searching him. And on Monday, of course I cannot find him. And on Monday, it was Friday, Saturday, and after 3 days, on Monday, he came in the clinic with his grandmother. He lived with his siblings and his grandmother, and because the grandmother didn't call the parents, and she told him, "You will not now. We need to go somewhere. I don't know what." Generally, she refused to speak. She refused him to speak with his parents. He left the house. He left the house. He was
rebellious.
Yeah, rebellious. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is how it. This is my first case, a minor case. 11 years old. Yeah.
11.
Difficult. And my second big moment, it was when I find an 11 years old from Iran on 2017, when I worked at Faros at the community center, because I was a street worker. I identify children in the streets, and after we make all the procedure to move in a shelter, and I saw him after 1 year, and he became a man, he became a student, all this.
He flourished.
Yes.
Nice. And now, if I ask you again about some things that you have learned by working with the young people, some lessons you took, what would be?
To be straight, to speak with them straight, and to tell them all the opportunities and the opportunities that they don't have. I mean, we need to be honest with them. This is the most important thing.
Now about, because we all know that this job can be emotionally demanding. Sometimes you might not be able to support young people. Sometimes they bring you a lot of things that are heavy. Pressure also, stress. How do you manage to support yourself, your well-being? What do you do?
I make psychotherapy once per week, and 3 times or 4 times per week I'm going to the gym, I'm training. and listen music and have friends and go out and need a balance and not work more than 8 hours. Need a balance our life to be in a harmony. You need a balance, and we need to care ourselves, and because it's a very tough job.
True. And I like the word harmony that you used. It's not easily found.
yeah, for sure. There are sometimes, some days, I'm going to return to my home and I'm thinking, the case, it's happening that, but I'm trying the best.
And also, I guess with the years you learn how to create this space and say, okay, now I'll need to stop thinking and tomorrow I'll think again, but now I need to have like 16 hours of not thinking.
Yes, of course.
Now, if you have a young professional that is coming now to you and tells you, Eleftheria, I'm thinking of working with young refugees, what would you advise him or her? What message would you would like to share with him or her?
To be active listener, to listen the young people like they are a white book, white pages. You don't know nothing at all, and you learn at that time all the details that you need. To make your job practically good. And be honest with yourself and with the other. Be straight and put yourself in their shoes.
And now, if the last question, it's a bit more personal question. If you had Eleftheria, the 20 years old Eleftheria in front of you,
oh my God,
and you need to tell her something, advise her something, what would this be? You can say more than one, huh?
I will tell her don't mess up, but I did it.
What do you mean, don't mess up?
I'm working more than 10 years, more than 11 hours per day, and in the field. So I lose myself. I lost myself. So I will tell her, find your balance. And not work and speak so many hours without, of course, gain money. I was more volunteering than working because I need the experience to find a job, and it was not so good, the things there, outside, in the streets.
So you would advise her to take care of herself?
Take care of yourself and put boundaries. With you and with the organizations, with the friends, with the volunteers, with the co-workers, with
the young people.
With the young people, yeah. And most of the system is putting the rules, and the young people following the rules if they have it before, and if you are a team, it's very important to be part of a team. You can make more things. And more powerful things, you can put your input, your impact, I think, to the people when you are a team. When you are alone and disagreements and blah, 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 no, it's not going well.
Thank you very much, Eleftheria, for your time.
Thank you.
And the useful advices.
Thank you very much.